What's up, Dolphin fans? This is the Big Fish Network podcast, and on today's show, I'm going to be covering the Hula Bowl draft prospects that I recommend for the Miami Dolphins. The game was played on Saturday, January 14th in Orlando, Florida at FBC Mortgage Stadium, home of the UCF Knights. And the Hula Bowl, they used kind of a Hawaiian theme, so it was Team Aina versus Team Kai, whatever the hell that means. To all the Hawaiians out there watching this show, please, in the comment section, let me know what Aina and Kai means. Is that blue and red, or what is that? I don't know. But Team Kai ended up winning by a score of 16-13. Just like the East-West Shrine game, this looked like a field goal fest, but there was a touchdown in this game. Mike Smith coached Team Aina and Brian Billick coached Team Kai for the second year in a row. And Smith and Billick, they had some good coaches on their staff this year. Billick added former Bills defensive coordinator Ted Cottrell. He's a black coach. They didn't give him a chance when he was a head coach. I think he was one and done, or he was an intern. But, he's on the defensive coordinator staff. I had to point that out just because Ted Cottrell is a good coach. He should have gotten a chance to be a head coach for a long time, just like Marvin Lewis. But, he's on this staff. Mike Smith added David Culley, another coach that should have had an opportunity to remain as a head coach and build a team, to a winner. He didn't get a chance to do that. He's the former Texans head coach. He's the tight ends coach for Mike Smith's staff. Both of those are good coaches, great, excellent teachers from everything that I've read and heard. So I'm pretty sure that all the players that's on this team, they're getting good fundamentals, and they played in this game. There was around 200 scouts from the professional ranks watching this game. They had every FL you could think of: the NFL, the CFL, the USFL, the XFL, and the European League of Football. That's the ELF. So it's still an F and an L in it. But amongst other leagues, those are the ones that were there. So the competition for elite talent from all levels is fierce. Obviously, every player, they want to play for the NFL to get that check. But it's other teams that can snatch up talent. There were some CFL players I seen last year that I actually scouted. I think Lopika, I think that might be his last name if I remember correctly. He played for Penn State. He was a linebacker. I was hoping we drafted him, but I think he ended up maybe in the CFL. I gotta find out. But it's good players everywhere. And the game was played using an NFL rule set with no punt returns. So they really just want to see the skilled players, the linemen, the offensive players, and the defensive players just go at it. No kick returns. They want, I guess they're not focusing on special teams. They just want to see the players on offense and defense. Team Kai drew first blood, getting on the board with a short field goal from North Carolina State's Christopher Dunning, giving the team in white the first lead of the game, making it 3-0 at 5 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Then Team Aina responded with a receiving touchdown from Kansas State quarterback Adrian Martinez. He threw a nice pass to Fordham wide receiver Ryan Miller to push the score to 7-3. And then, that gave Aina the lead before the halftime break. And I watched Adrian Martinez's tape. All the Skylar Thompson fans out there, I posted it on Facebook. Adrian Martinez looked like he got more upside. He looked like the better of the two quarterbacks from that same college. So yes, Skylar does have some talent. He could be our backup quarterback. Possibly. Like I said, I think he needs some more time to develop. I think he should be on the practice squad for right now. I know he's 25, going on 26 maybe, but he's still young, and he's still got time to develop in this offense. Maybe he can, be like Tony Romo and learn, on the practice squad and rise up maybe in a couple years, if McDaniel decides to keep him on the team. But, Adrian Martinez tape looks better. And UCLA tight end Michael Ezeki caught a 20-yard receiving touchdown from ECU quarterback Holton Ahiers, I think that's how I say his name, to give Team Kai the lead back 10-7 after engineering a 9-minute scoring drive. And like I said, UCLA was loaded. They was loaded. DTR, Charbonnet, then they tight end Ezeki. He might be a tight end that we could probably covet to maybe either be a backup to Gesicki, because I think we should keep him, or replace Gesicki if we decide to let him, really get into free agency for real. It just depends. Team Ina swung and hit back with Fordham quarterback Tim DeMorit fooling the defense to find UAB wide receiver Trey Shroshire on a play-action boot for a 75-yard score to go back up 14-10 at the end of the third quarter. And the one thing I noticed about this draft, there's certain schools that's representing. There's certain schools that's representing. The Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. The Hilltoppers must have been balling, because they got a lot of players that teams are looking at. Fordham, I just told y'all about wide receiver Ryan Miller catching a pass from Adrian Martin. Now I'm telling you about Fordham quarterback Tim DeMorit. I think that's how you say his name, DeMorat, fooling the defense and throwing a pass. They must have had that offense. They must have had that quick strike offense. I might have to take a look at Fordham. They take a look at some of their tape. And then Team Kai would rally from there with 2 field goals from short range to take home the victory in the fourth quarter. And there was a few players from this game that I added to my draft board to possibly address some of our team needs. Now, in the last video, I covered the East-West Shrine Bowl game, which, they had that in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. And there was several players that I added on my board that could potentially fill some needs. And you can find that video on the Big Fish Network podcast YouTube channel. So make sure and go there, subscribe to the channel if you like Dolphins content. And I'm pretty sure you're gonna find everything you want to find on my. Again, the Dolphins team needs to me are heavy running back, slot wide receiver, gadget offensive weapon, defensive tackle, linebacker, cornerback, and backup quarterback. Now, on social media, on Facebook, there's been people that's been posting most mock drafts. One of my mock drafts, I had center Oluwatimi from Michigan as an option that we can choose in the third round, depending on how we attack free agency. If we don't address the offensive line in free agency, and we decide that that's something that's going to be a need for the draft, he would be a good option. I know we got Connor Williams, who we signed last year, but I think Connor, he's a good center. He is a good center. He is. I'm not going to lie. High snaps and all, he's a good center. But I think Oluwatimi might be a better choice for center. He might be able to be like Pouncey, who, shout out to Pouncey for signing a one-day contract. We got breaking news that he signed a one-day contract to retire as a Dolphin. You could tell he loved playing for this team. And I'm not going to lie, there's some things I'm happy about as far as how Pouncey played, but I would have wanted to see us win with Pouncey as our center, because I think he anchored that O-line, man. He anchored that O-line, and I was a little disappointed that we didn't maximize having a dominant center like Pouncey. He could pounce. That's why he probably got that. He got the right name for his position. He's a pouncer in the run game. He added good protection, and shout out to Mike. You know what I'm saying? And he played for the Gators, played for Florida, representing the Florida boys. Shout out to Pouncey. You could tell this was his favorite team. Yes, this is his favorite team. We should have never got rid of him. We should have signed him, really, if you ask me. But shout out to Pouncey, man. But a center Y'all, we complain about the line and the run game. You need a center. It's a straight line. It's the center to the quarterback to the running back behind you. And the center makes the calls on the line. Just he the quarterback of the line. You know, you got and you gotta have a good center. I think I forgot what the name of the guy was that posted on social media. He had a mock draft that had the Ohio State center. I gotta take a look at the other centers in the draft. Listen, there's a lot of good players. So I can't look at them all in one day, but Olawatami, I did see his tape and he's legit. And you know, I would say there was just maybe a few players in this game that piqued my interest. The Shrine Bowl, there was a lot of players, you know, that I saw that I think could be good fits on this team. But in the Hula Bowl, there was a few. There's some players, but a few that I would be looking at, even though they have some question marks, which I'm gonna talk about. Cornerback Nehemiah Shelton, he's one of them. He's a tall corner, 6'2", 186 pounds. He's got great speed, which is why, you know, he's been used as a returner in the past. And his return ability is one of the reasons why I'm interested in us possibly adding him. Maybe he might go undrafted. He'll be a good option as an undrafted player that we can acquire. But he's originally from Cardena, California. He attended Sarah High School, began his college career at Long Beach City Community College. So he's from where Snoop and Warren G and 213 is from. During his freshman year, he played in 11 games, totaling 46 tackles and 4 interceptions. Transferred to San Jose State University prior to the 2018 season. He redshirted. Then he redshirted as a sophomore. And he played in 12 games as a sophomore, totaling 42 tackles, 3 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. He did have a shortened season in 2020. He started in 8 games, but he totaled 38 tackles, which ranked first on the team among cornerbacks. So he just had he had some setbacks, some bumps in the road, but you could see the production, you could see the play on tape. His weaknesses is he gave up far too many big plays, is what they say, especially, you know, since he does have the recovery speed to make up for his missteps. Maybe he just got to work on his technique, but he got the ability and the size that you're looking for with as a big corner. He just may need to have Sam Madison, you know what I'm saying? Give him that game. He didn't show in college that he could be an asset and run support. Sometimes he looks tentative and underpowered, you know, when stepping up against the run. And he has been inconsistent getting off his blocks, which means he got to get stronger in the weight room. Dave Paloka got to get that boy right so that, you know, he can have more power. And they say he could also be a step slow to react when a quarterback comes back to his side of the field late in the progression. So what that means is against mobile quarterbacks, he struggled. He may have struggled. But again, maybe as an undrafted player, we could develop him, you know, on the practice squad. And, you know, he could be that. He's 6'2", and he got speed. So he got something there. Edge Jordan Ferguson. Out of all of these players, he's number one. The other player, I mean, you know, yeah, we could have a corner, you know what I'm saying, a big corner, but Nehemiah Shelton, I mean, but Jordan Ferguson from Middle Tennessee, I think he can be legit. He got a sack in the first quarter, had 9 sacks last season for the Blue Raiders, and 266 pounds from Atlanta, went to Cartersville High School. He could be a good player. And he just seemed like he just got that motor, that tenacity, that he don't give no what's on the field, and that's what you want to see. He ain't scared, he never scared. That's what you got to see. Edge Jalen Harris, he was playing on the edge. He has good size, and he's been able to be, you know, a good player, not only as a pass rusher, but also as a good tackler leading that Arizona Wildcat defense. Plays with a good lower half, quick lower half, both in terms of his lateral mobility, and he can utilize his feet to set up his blocks and transition from speed to power at any given time. You know, he approaches with a stab move with good timing, you know what I'm saying? And then he capitalizes off poor sets from the tackles and just have him moving backwards with his power. Good hand usage, subtle, but it's quick, and, you know, use it to get on the outside track. And, you know, they say he plays with good balance and good strength to make impact in the run game. The weaknesses they have on him is that he's a little light in the ass for his position. You know, he not physical enough at times at the point, and sometimes he don't use good leverage and don't show good strength, and, you know, it makes it hard for him to manipulate blocks and take advantage of his speed. Also, they say sometimes he has poor hand usage, which leads to an inability to disengage, which means he's not shedding well enough off of his blocks properly, and he's letting them establish their hand position instead of him, you know, taking the fight to them. They also say he don't have a good bend and lower body flexion, you know, which you need that to be, you know, fast on the outside. Bend is very important as an edge rusher. And if y'all remember Robert Quinn, when we had Robert Quinn, they asked a lot of defensive players on our team about his bend, and that was something that they said Robert Quinn's bend was like second to none in the league. That's how he was getting to the quarterback when he was with the Rams, and we let him go, and he ended up playing for the producer for the Cowboys. And, you know, but those are the only players that I wrote down for this game. Next video, I'll be discussing the Senior Bowl players that I added to my board, so stay tuned for that upcoming episode. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out a lot, and I appreciate all the people that have subscribed already. Thank y'all for tuning in and riding with the channel. Till next time, signing off.